What's happening, guys? I hope we're doing alright. Today we're talking about stop overthinking. What I mean by this is stop overthinking about ourselves, about where we should be, about what we've mucked up on. And I'm sharing with you some stories that I really feel that would give you the understanding and the insight that you need to stop beating yourself up so much. Stop thinking this is the way it should be and how to actually move forward. Anyway, guys, I feel this is one of the most kind of passionate ones and one of the most informational, guided ones that I feel would make a really big impact in your life. So guys, if you please enjoy it, please subscribe, please leave a comment, and please tell a friend. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy today's episode. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be? Or in other words, conquer their dyslexia. That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. Hello guys, I hope we're doing good. And alright, let me just change. Anyway guys, I hope we're doing good. Alright, I'm really excited to do this and to film this podcast. I know I haven't done one in quite some time. And today I want to talk about something. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because think about it, we call it overthinking because we're doing something over. We're doing something too much. Overthinking. When we're making productive thinking, we wouldn't call that overthinking, would we? The very essence of knowing that we're overthinking about something is knowing that we shouldn't do it. You mean it's like abusing? When is abusing good? Abusing anything? You mean when is that good? It's not, because we have the word abusing in it. Does that make sense? Because overthinking has a negative connotation because oftentimes it can serve a negative purpose. And today I want to talk to you a bit about overthinking, and it's more about trying to be perfect. Trying to be perfect all the time, where you get everything right and do it all. Because I honestly know a couple of podcasts ago I said that I'm going to do this every single day. I'm going to raise my standard and be committed and all this stuff, and I haven't. I just haven't. And this reminds me to a story back. I was living. I live with my mum now. I was living by myself, but paying monthly, renting this little house. Really good, really nice little house. But I was living by myself, and I bought this course called Knowledge Broker Blueprint by two people I really admire who made it, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi made it. It's this thing, and it's all about how you can make a live mastermind, how you can bring people to an event and you can speak to them. And it was like that, and virtual ones. Obviously you can't do the physical ones now because of COVID, obviously. And I remember buying this course. I spent $2,000 on the course. I had a lot of money saved up just to spend on myself, personal development. And I got obsessed on this. I was learning so much about this. And this is about the time my book has basically been finally published, because I made about a dozen versions. I made it and it wasn't good enough. Then it was a very painful process getting it published. But anyway, I had my book published, and my big dream was always wanting to do a live event. Because I'd see Tony Robbins, I'd see these people on stage, I'd be like, I want to do that. I want to speak on stage and impact people, because I was going Toastmasters, I was improving it, I was doing all these things for years, leading up to me doing my live event. And I've always wanted to do this, but I've just always not really found out how. But having this course gave me so much confidence, because it said the exact hows and loads of mindset stuff, and it's such a good course. And I was living by myself, and I remember I was doing a personal training job, and that was I really wanted to do personal training. It was something that I've dreamed about since I was 15, 16, and I was doing that. I did that for a year, and I realised now it's time to stop. It's time because I had a part-time job working in a school, and it's okay, now it's time to stop me doing personal training and focus on my dyslexia stuff, go all in on that. And I thought, you know how you want to do something so much, and then you like, it makes total sense to you. Of course it's going to be successful, of course it's going to go good, of course it's going to go reach for the stars. And then when you try and do it, it doesn't, it fails. Well, that was me, sort of like, I quit my job and I wanted to do this full time. It's like, I'm going to work so hard, I'm going to spend all these hours on it, I'm going to work obsessively on it. But you know what? I didn't work obsessively on this dyslexia stuff. Don't get me wrong, I was obsessed. I still am on this dyslexia stuff. But I wasn't working obsessively on it. I wasn't working the hours, I wasn't being as productive as I wanted to be. And that really hurt my self-esteem. That really hurt, like, I really beat myself up bad because of it. I remember going these cycles of doing really good through 3 to 4 days and then feeling bad about it, bad about myself, bad about, you know what I mean, bad about, why can't I do this, you're idiot, you're stupid, you're useless. So I just get myself in these rants of like really motivate myself to do well and then falling off the deep end and going really bad, like feeling really bad for myself. And I was saying up for this event, okay, this is a pinnacle, this is what I wanted for like many years. I paid a lot of money for it, and one person came to the event. After all this promotion, I remember I was going to door-to-doors and knocking on the door and like asking them, hi, are you dyslexic? You know what I mean? Do you know anyone dyslexic? Door-to-door sales like that, and giving them a flyer about it. And I was really pushing myself, doing all these things that I knew how to do. And I charged, because I went out, the whole hall was like a little church hall for the day, and I was doing all these things. I was like, okay, let's do it, £50 for an entry, let's do all this stuff. And as £50, no one entered. I was like, okay, let's make it free. I think 9 people entered after I made it free. And I like really pushed it out. And then after that, after those 9 people, only one person showed up. And it was me, my friend, and like my mum, and who else? Me, my friend, and my mum was there. I think that was it. And me, my friend, and my other friend came for like a little bit. But I was like, okay, my mum and my other friend, you don't know that, you know what I mean? Just pretend that you're in the audience. And like, there's very few people. I spoke to them for like 6 hours. I was really passionate about it. And then I had all these plans about what I'm going to do after that. But after that little event happened, I didn't really execute on all my plans after that. I didn't really move forward on them. Because I was like, oh, this is my big thing. And only one person came. And I know in my intellectually thinking, well, it's not a failure because I've done it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm learning, I'm progressing. This is the journey. But I think a bit emotionally, I was like, well, this isn't what I expected it to be. And I felt down. And I went through a lot of struggling there, because I think the whole struggling was I wanted to be this perfect vision of who I was. And trust me, I was beating myself up a lot. And I was, you mean, when I felt so hopeless, so trapped in myself, like I wanted to take action, but I kept being pulled in this distraction way. It's like, how I could describe it was, you want to do the good habit, but your old addiction keeps on putting you back, and if you're hopeless to that addiction, I felt like that in my addiction, social media, food, whatever, distractions. And I got to like a point really bad, because I wanted to be this perfect person, but I wasn't being that person. I couldn't be that person. I'm not that perfect person today, but I'm still striving towards it. And my whole point of saying this little story is that oftentimes, especially when we're dyslexic, especially when we overcome so much adversity and moving forward in our life, we have this image about who we want to be, about who we must act, how we must deal with certain situations, how things must go perfectly. And oftentimes we don't meet that. We don't meet that criteria. We blame ourselves for it. We beat ourselves up for it. We say, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, why can't I do this, I'm so stupid, I need to work harder. And we sacrifice our own life, our own time, our own sort of happiness in order to meet this perfect vision. Sometimes we don't meet that perfect vision, and we beat ourselves up even more. And it doesn't really go good and go well. And I remember one time in this event, when I was 6 years old, the teacher kicked me out of class. I was crying, I was upset, I had no reason why she kicked me out of class. I remember I was in the halls and I was thinking, why don't I understand people? And then subconsciously it's like, well, I don't understand people, nothing really works. And I was like, I'm not good enough. And then it took me years, like I was a decade or two later, to find out, oh my God, this was my unconscious belief of why I've been working so hard, because I believe I'm not good enough. I really strongly feel that so many other dyslexics out there feel the same. feel that I'm not good enough, because I've failed so many times in the past because I was not good enough for people to leave me alone, that people had to help me growing up, therefore I feel I'm not good enough now. And oftentimes we want to feel, okay, I want to be good enough, I want to be this perfect person, and working really hard to get there. And then oftentimes doing that, like being that motivated and not reaching that ideal goal, which we'll never ever reach, by the way. We can't reach perfection. We often feel blame ourselves and feel bad and feel trapped. But the reason why I want to talk about this is that, look, I had this belief in the past that saying, okay, if I'm not doing the right thing, I link pain to not doing the right thing and pleasure to doing the right thing. Therefore, I would always do the right thing because I wouldn't want pain. But the amount of pain I was giving myself about what I'd done in the past was not moving me closer to in the future. I was hating myself. I was beating myself up because I done this, I failed on that. And I would trap myself and it wouldn't move myself any closer towards any goals, towards any sort of real progress in anything. And I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever been trapping yourself? Have you ever been working really hard to do that thing or to go there, to become this person you want to become? And yet you're not doing it. Instead of just resetting and learning and moving forward, you beat yourself up about it. And oftentimes beating yourself up is keeping you from moving forward more than anything else. Because you want to tell yourself off, you want to teach yourself a lesson while I'm telling you something. That lesson you're teaching you is keeping you from getting what you want. Because you're always beating yourself up, you're always being too harsh on yourself, you're never moving forward. Guys, I really hope that makes sense. And why I title this overthinking is that oftentimes we can overthink in ourselves. Overthink on ourselves, on our own life. Instead of thinking the most simple and most probably greatest way of move on. It's just moving on. Creating another day, keep learning, keep growing. And yes, review. And yes, judge yourself. But do not take the yesterday's crap emotions or the yesterday's crap results into today. And I know, believe me, I know that when you hear it, it sounds simple, but it's hard to execute. The way you execute it is by doing. The way you execute it is by learning. I wouldn't be able to, basically, I would have a lot, because, let me tell you, the podcast, these things that I wasn't doing consistently, and because of this Conquering Dyslexia Live, I haven't done it. I was supposed to do it at the weekend. I haven't done it now. I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do one step each day, 12 steps. I've been designing this 450-page PowerPoint on it, a presentation, so many things, and I've been working really hard on it. I didn't do the Conquering Dyslexia Live. Why? Because I wasn't ready for it, because I didn't hold myself to a high enough standard, and because of stuff. But am I beating myself up? Because now, no. I'm moving forward. I can see why I'm in the future. I'm looking in the past. Okay, maybe I can learn from that. Maybe I can't. But I'm not letting my past make me feel crap about myself. I hope that makes sense, guys. I really want us to be able to take this, a bit of information and a bit of knowledge with us when we're going forward in the future, because it's not, especially when we want to do something that helps people make an impact, or really try and really maximize these things that we've got, these skills that we want to create something. It's not going to be easy, but we've got to just keep moving forward. Stop looking at the past about why it's bad or why it's not working. Keep moving forward, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to you hearing the one tomorrow. Take care, guys, and see you later. Bye.